Hey, what's up everybody? Today I am bringing you a game that is very special to me, and that game is Patchwork. Now, this is the first game that my partner introduced me to before I knew about the huge world of board gaming. I have always loved board games and dice games, card games, all growing up, all through my adult life, but I never knew that there was a whole nother side to board gaming. I didn't know about Kickstarter, I didn't know about all the amazing content and game creators that have just made this entire board gaming world out there. Now, normally we think of Monopoly or Risk or other, older traditional games that we used to play growing up as kids, but this game is the first game that I was introduced to that opened me up to the huge world that board gaming has become. Patchwork is a great game to introduce to your kiddos and family members that may not have a lot of experience with the bigger board games that are out there. This is a great game to start with. It's one that I started with and still play to this day. I love this game. I've played it a ton. It's very easy. It only takes about 30 minutes and you only need 2 people to play. So let's jump on in and show you how to play. Let's take a look at the board. This is the track that we will be traveling around throughout the game. Along the way, we'll be passing buttons which give us currency. Anytime you pass a button, you look at your board and see how many buttons you have on your tile pieces. You then get that many buttons. As we go along our track, we will also pass by presents. The first person to pass over or land on a present gets it. They then get to take this tile and place it anywhere on their board. When you get all the way around the board and get your marker past this last button and into this end space, your game is over. Once both players are in the end spot, the game is over. The goal of Patchwork is to fill as much of your board as possible with these tiles. At the start of the game, each player starts with 5 buttons. The marker is placed in front of the smallest piece, which is a 2x1. You place it there, and the first player gets to choose between the first 3 tiles. Throughout each round, wherever the Christmas tree marker is, you can choose between the next 3 tiles. So if we start playing, the first player will choose this piece. For this one, we need to pay 2 buttons and take 1 time. When we place our tiles, we can place it anywhere on our board. We can start in a certain area, we can start in the middle, wherever you want to start. I'm going to go ahead and place this up here. That costs 2 buttons and 1 time. Now, since the silver marker is in front of the gold marker, it's the gold person's turn. The Christmas tree marker gets moved to where that tile was. The gold player then gets to choose between the next 3 tiles. Since there's only 1 tile that we can afford at this point, we'll go with this one and pay 3 buttons and 3 time. So I'm just going to place that on my board, pay 3 buttons, and take 3 time. 1, 2, 3. Now, since the gold marker is ahead of the silver marker, it is the silver player's turn. We move the tree marker to where that tile was, and the silver player has these 3 options. Now, the silver player only has 1 option, so they're going to take this one for 3 buttons and 2 time. And we'll put this here. So, 3 buttons. 1, 2 time. Now, since the silver player is in the same spot as the gold player, technically it is still the silver person's turn because they are not ahead of the gold person. The same player continues play until they are ahead of the other person. So if they buy a tile and they are still behind after moving their time, they can then buy another tile and continue playing. We'll move the Christmas tree. Now, as you can see, we have no buttons here, so I need to pass. When you pass, you move to the first box in front of the other player. So, we move 1 space. Since we moved 1 space, we get 1 button. Every time you pass, you count how many spaces it takes you to get one in front of the other player and take that many buttons. Now, since silver is ahead of gold, it's the gold player's turn. The gold player only has 2 buttons, so they can either pass or take this 1 button piece. So if they take this button piece, it's 1 button and 2 time. So I'm going to place that on the board, pay 1 button, take 2 time, and as you can see, we passed a button. Whenever we pass a button, we can collect more buttons. We look at our board and see how many buttons we have on our tiles, which right now is just 1. So we can take 1 button. Since gold is now in front of silver, it is the silver player's turn. As you can see, we still can't afford any of these tiles. There's an 8 button, a 5 button, and a 4 button tile out here. So I have to pass again. This time we're going to move 2 spaces, so we get 2 buttons. And we also cross the button. So we get to look at our board and see how many buttons we have on it, which is 1. So we can take 1 button. Then since silver is ahead of gold, it is now the gold player's turn. Play continues in this manner until you get all the way around the board to the middle. At the end of the game, you look at how many buttons each player has, and whoever has the most is the winner. Lastly, we have a trophy here for whoever can complete a 7x7 grid first, meaning a 7x7 patch on your board with no empty spaces. Whoever does that first gets 7 coins at the end of the game. That counts towards your total score at the end. The fun thing about this game is there are so many different versions. We have the Christmas version where all of the tiles are like gifts and they have different wrapping papers on them. There's patchwork for different seasons, for different holidays. It is so fun. So make sure you go check out all of those different versions to see which one you like the best before you pick one out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this game as much as I do. Like I said, it's super quick, it's super easy, and it's a great game to get people introduced to the world of board gaming. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe down below, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, get your game on.